Hello, my name is Gabrielle Lewis and I'm the Director of Communications for BP, and this is a statement in regards to the mental health and communities surrounding the shorelines of the Gulf of Mexico and impacted by the Deepwater Horizon oil spill. A number of residents are dependent on the tourism and fishery industries for revenue and their source of livelihood. And BP recognizes that this tragedy has deeply impacted these fisheries and small business owners, and we're committed to offer resources to offset the losses. 40% of the commercial and recreational fishing grounds have been closed for monitoring and cleanup efforts, which has increased some distress to the fisheries. BP is prepared to pay for damages and offer programs to offset the struggles that these communities are experiencing. These communities have been repeatedly challenged by natural disasters, and their resilience to rebuild and restructure their livelihoods, including their mental health, to stay positive and reassure their families they can continue to move forward in struggling times, has been very challenging. However, it's been done because it needed to be done. Technological disasters such as the Deepwater Horizon tend to offer different psychological recoveries, as this is typically based on human error. So victims tend to place blame, anger, they experience additional anger, anxiety, and they're looking for compensation. This image reflects the Gulf of, or in Mexico, that Mississippi in particular has fisheries that have higher levels of stress versus the tourism industry or others that are dependent on the Gulf of Mexico for revenue. There has been studies from the University of Colorado and also Oklahoma State University that state these types of respondents, the fisheries indicated 1/5 of these respondents have a severe level of stress, whereas others that are dependent on the Gulf of Mexico have about a quarter of moderate stress. So the fisheries are very dependent, and we are dedicated to provide relief programs. A claims line has been established by BP to assist residents with relief and resources. There is a high volume of respondents that are calling in, which does cause additional distress and anger and anxiety. Please be patient with this process, as BP is doing everything we can to assist our programs. We've also developed a program called the Vessels of Opportunity, which is geared to offset the economic struggles for our fisheries. The Vessels of Opportunity program will hire fishermen to help with the cleanup efforts. And thus far, BP has contributed or paid, $17.8 billion to businesses, individuals, and local law enforcement in the recovery efforts. This is a graph that does show some of the chronological orders of the BP oil spill, and in this what BP has paid so far shows the $17 billion plus $10 billion to the U.S. government in the cleaning efforts. BP is working with state and federal agencies to continue to clean and monitor and test the fish and seafood. There are studies that indicate that oil in fish and seafood do directly impact the food chain, which ultimately will impact what is served on your plate. And the monitoring efforts, have been very successful. In the nearly 18,000 water samples pulled, less than 2% have, less than 2% have exceeded the U.S. EPA toxicity benchmarks. The goal ultimately is to receive less, or to test less than 1/100% against the toxicity guidelines. I do appreciate your time. My name is Gabrielle Lewis, and again, BP is committed to ensure the communities impacted by the oil spill and the food harvested for the Americans' consumption is safe. I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much.